Hi, I'm Lisa, and I'm going to talk to you today about landscape painting. We are so fortunate at Villa Finale to have many of Julian and Robert Onderdonk's paintings. Julian was a little more well-known than his father Robert, and that's who we're going to talk about today. Julian Onderdonk was an impressionistic painter, and he was most famous as a Texas painter for the wildflowers in the hill country in Texas. An impressionist painter will use little dabs of paint and small brush strokes to capture the shifting light and color in the things that he's looking at around him. Up close, the painting may look like a lot of random brush strokes. But as you stand back, the colors blend together. So if you've done a blue dab and a yellow dab, as you stand back, it will blend together and look a little bit like green. Very interesting to look at an impressionist painting up close and from far back. Some famous other impressionistic painters you may know are Vincent van Gogh, Claude Monet, maybe George Seurat. The project we're going to do today is going to be a landscape, and I'm going to make it a fun and easy project for you to do at home. A landscape is a painting or drawing of scenery outside. It can be anywhere, any time of day or night. You can be inspired by what's around you. You can be inspired by something that you remember, something that you imagine. You can even be inspired by someone else's artwork or a photograph that you took. What you'll need depends on whether you're going to do a drawing or a painting. In this project, I decided to use watercolors. So if you are going to choose watercolors, these are some of the things that you might want to have. So I have watercolor palettes, and usually they have a lid so that if you want to mix colors, you can actually use the lid to mix them on. You'll also need watercolor paper, which is a little heavier than regular paper. It's a good idea to have brushes of different sizes. As you can see here, I have a rather large one for big areas and several small ones for more detail work. You always need a container for water and a paper towel. And if you're working outside, it's good to have a board to lean on. Looking at a whole scene can be a little overwhelming, and I'm going to show you a little technique that's going to help you focus on smaller areas. If you have empty frame, these are just cardboard mats, empty frames of different sizes, or you can even use your fingers and you can put them together like a little frame. And the trick is to hold it up in the areas that you're interested in, close one eye, and look through the empty area. It will help you frame smaller areas at a time. And you can move it, keeping your eye closed, and go, that's what I want to paint, or that's what I want to draw. Okay, to start your landscape, you're going to need to know a couple of words, and I did a little sketch to help you out. The first thing that you're going to have to do on your paper is create a horizon line. This is a line that separates the sky from the ground. It can be anywhere on your paper, top or bottom, but it has to go from one side to the other. This horizon line can be straight across. It can be wavy to show hills and mountains. It's totally up to you and what you want your horizon line to look like. The next thing you're going to have to think about is foreground and background. The foreground is everything that's at the very bottom of the paper. So if you could imagine that your painting or drawing comes alive and you could actually walk into it, the foreground is the place where you're going to put your first steps. The next section is the background. The background is anything that's far away. So you've got your foreground in front and your background far away. The last thing you're going to need to pay attention to is perspective. Perspective is what will make a flat piece of paper look 3D. It will give depth to your drawing or your painting. So perspective means that anything that's up close, anything that's in your foreground, is going to be larger than anything farther away or in the background. You can see here on my little sketch, this is a path. These red lines are as if a path was going far away. And you can see it gives you some depth. So it's wide in the front and it goes narrower as it gets farther away to the horizon line. I just added these lines so you could see the difference between the width. Then if you have an object, and I just did a simple sketch of trees to give you an example. The trees that are closest to me in my drawing in the foreground are larger, and as they go farther and farther back, they get smaller. They also, if you're painting, get blurrier and a little bit lighter in color. And if you use these three techniques, foreground, background, and perspective, you will create an illusion of depth on a flat piece of paper. So here in our beautiful gardens at Villa Finale, I found a perfect example in real life of perspective. I'm standing in the foreground, and in front of me, side by side, are these bushes. You can also see a path that's leading back. Now watch what happens if I get farther away. Notice that I look a little smaller as I'm farther away, and watch what happens if I get even farther away. Remember at the beginning I told you that Julian Onderdonk was one of our artists that we had here at Villa Finale? Well, I used Julian's art as my inspiration for my project. And I just thought I'd tell you a nice little story about Julian's father, Robert. When Robert was a painter, long before Julian, in the early 1800s, they didn't have things like cameras and all the art supplies that we have to take pictures as memories of what we've seen. And the story is that Robert Onderdonk would take the lids of a cigar box and carry them with him wherever he went with a set of paints, so that he was always ready to capture a painting if he was inspired. So I used that for my project. I happened to have a cigar box and I took the lid off. Here's the lid, and here's my Onderdonk painting. Thank you so much for joining me for Let's Start with Art. I can't wait to see you for the next project.